Libra rising sign or ascendant. So if you have a Libra ascendant, this is where your persona, your energy is going to come off very much needing to sort out the fairness within communication, within connection, within the dynamics of relationships. Libra is the element of air, and its modality is cardinal air. With this rising persona, you can seem indecisive at times because it's really trying to just rationalize with the mind the whole dynamics of give and take and what is going to be right for both parties. So this is a sign that really needs to find balance here, not only with the aesthetics and the harmony within just beauty in its environment, in its way of doing things. It's a rising sign persona that is very much art oriented. Not only is it art oriented, but it wants to create harmony within the jurisdiction of just people in relationships also, because that will bring a whole lot of beauty in itself. Because if we can all just find that balance together, we can create a world that will be not just organized, but also be expressed within all shades and colors and blends of diversity. So having a Libra persona, when you leave your sacred space, this is an energy that takes over where you're very much curious about personalities. Libras can be quite intuitive in nature. They look at the beauty in diversity. They look at the beauty in the way people do things differently. They like to study sociology and just social dynamics because they want to understand why it is that people are drawn to certain things, have a certain interest, so forth and so on. So this is what can help the Libra rising to almost create balance within their own life. Even though this is a rising persona, this is some tool that Libras navigate with throughout their life path. So just becoming very aware of social dynamics, the different correlations people have when they encounter each other. This is what Librans notice and they study. So Libras, having a Libra persona generally is a very social nature. So when you leave your sacred space, you're ready to socialize, and you like to go back and forth with not just debating with others, just bouncing off ideas and using your communication style as more of just some sort of experiment to just understand how the meeting of minds create a certain kind of communication style, a certain kind of social dynamic, a certain kind of trying to find balance with dialogue between one party and another, or one mind and another. Libras, or the Libra persona, generally will, sit back and watch a crowd interact with one another. They can, like I said, be quite intuitive, so they can fill out the social dynamics within an environment. And ultimately, they want things to be just, and they take up for the underdog. Libra risings can also be somewhat of a truth bearer when it comes to it, because they're so passion oriented to kind of balance the scales. If you're off balance for some reason, a Libra rising can pick up on it and communicate such the imbalance and put it into words. And even though maybe they could come off harsh sometimes when they break things down to you to get you to pay attention to where you're unfair or unjust, or you're not seeing your growth potential, or something that you could basically change yourself, they'll call it out to you if there's someone being stubborn to change something that is just basically outstanding, where the person is clearly unaware of a weakness or a vulnerability that is causing them some sort of issues, and the Libra wants to bring it to your attention to address it. So they mean well. And having this rising persona Libra, your second house will be ruled by Scorpio. But back to the first house, the Libra, so when we talk persona, we talk physical description as well. So Libra is going to have very kind of balanced facial features. The eyes will be perfectly separated. They might have a little more width between the eyes and be very leveled, you'll notice. So within the eye region and the forehead, there will be quite a separation between the eyes, but they'll be equally leveled. And they generally have a usually their structure is kind of straight down and narrow, but it has this balance to it, which makes their presentation just not just aesthetically pleasing, but it seems to kind of just cut through and penetrate the energy as being like statuesque. Like if you look at Lady Liberty, she has a very statuesque kind of physique. No matter what gender you are, Libra risings, they're going to have a physical description that's very like statuesque, no matter what size you are. So moving to the second house, as a Libra rising, your second house will be ruled by Scorpio. So here, this is where you have this really strong sense of your value. So even though you can come off decisive with some of your rationalization at times, not knowing, which way to go or what to do, because there's a thing where you want to, please the people or please the connection, so to say. However, you have these strong boundaries up with what your self-worth is, and if anyone should cross that, you have the power within your ability to communicate your sovereignty to not just yourself, but to what you have to present here within the world as far as just your resourcefulness and your value. So also as a Libra rising with Scorpio ruling your second house, this fixed water energy, this is where your value just kind of transforms over time and is very concentrated and becomes very powerful, which is why having a Libra, persona here, you can definitely become quite the one for legal advice, or the lawyer that really can persistently stand their ground when it comes to an argument to create some sort of defense, whoever or whomever they're defending, whatever they're defending. So also with Scorpio ruling your second house, this is giving you the ability to emotionally ground yourself, not allowing for emotions to dictate what it is that you stand for, or what it is that you're providing in as far as some sort of service. Because with Scorpio, you have this nature where you can, intuitively feel the unjust or the unfairness if you are in some sort of debate. However, you have this ability to ground your emotions and communicate in order to get to the point of things and address them accordingly. So with the Libra rising, also what I can say about Scorpio ruling over your second house is you have a strong willpower to really embrace your self-value here. And it's as if you do get stronger over time and your self-esteem can be strengthened through testing your Libran-like abilities to speak for others, to stand up for the underdogs, to create fairness, and to be brutally honest. So with the Libra persona, your third house will be ruled by Sagittarius. So here, this is where,